Welcome to Sound Lab Studio. Sound Lab.
To the point where I'm no fun anymore.
Wow, listen to the way the artist intended.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another album review. This is the second in the Beatles review series. We got the second studio album from the Fab Four, going in the UK order with the Beatles. Also released in 1963, 8 months after the release of their highly successful debut, Please Please Me.
Background information.
It's
Well,
definitely
it's the
an album.
second. It's the second album in 1963. So can you imagine? You have to make. I mean, you have to come up with 2 albums, plus you have to come up with like 4 singles per album that aren't even on the album a lot of times.
Yeah.
And you have to tour. You're busy touring all the time. It's like they had no time to themselves at this time, the Beatles. And I think that hurt the second album, maybe, that they didn't have enough time for it.
Yeah.
And you'll see that again with Beatles for Sale. It hurts the album when they have to rush in and try to get another
It's like
album
these
out.
early Beatles albums. Every other album they have is brilliant, and then every other album they have is it's an album.
Not as good.
Up until Help, every record they got from that album forward is amazing.
Yeah, once it gets Revolver, it's just they're spending all their time in the studio.
Yeah.
It just gets
They
way
became
better.
More of a studio band because they didn't like the touring and the
Yeah.
fangirls and all that. With all that set up, let's get started talking about all the individual songs on the album, starting with It Won't Be Long,
Yeah.
led by
Yeah.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good way to open this album. I like how as soon as you start the record, the first thing you hear is just "It won't be long, yeah." And I like the call and response. It's like,
so
yeah,
good.
yeah. It won't be long, yeah. And I kind of like the R&B influence on these first like 2 songs on the album. There's definitely a heavy R&B influence on them, and there's a kind of some interesting chords in this song as well. Yeah. So I belong to... Yeah, there's like an augmented chord until I belong to you. That section, that's kind of a chord you don't hear very often. And I like the boom, 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 down, boom, down, boom, 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 down, boom, down. It's not like top tier Beatles, but as far as this album goes, this is one of the better songs on the album.
My opinion on the song, it's a pretty good way to open up the album. I agree, it's definitely one of the better of the songs. I'm going to say this right now. It's not nearly as good as the previous album opener. I saw her standing there, and it's nowhere near as good as the opening song that comes on the next album, A Hard Day's Night. This is an okay song. I like the vocals, but I don't know. After Please Please Me, this just comes off as weak.
I'm going to say that the opening song on this album isn't even as good as the first 5 seconds of the song that opens the next one. If you know what I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah.
It's that chord.
Yeah, the most famous chord. Anyways.
That's the note. Searching for a note, that's the note.
There once was a note, pure and easy.
Yeah, I agree 100% with especially what Scott said there. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album. This album doesn't have a lot of big hits. I think this is probably one of the bigger known songs on the album, I would think. It's definitely one of the ones I go to on this album. If I made a playlist, definitely this one would be on it. yeah, it's just a great opener. It's so fast paced and fun and catchy, and love the like I said, love the call and response. That's probably the best part of the song. But yeah, oh, it's so good. And then when he gets into that slower part, when you left me, ooh, and you get those oohs in the background. It's like, oh, those oohs are so good. And John's, yeah, he's got some great vocals here. Um, I'm coming home, I'm coming home, whatever. Like, uh, it's a really good song. I think it's a great opener.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with all three of you. I think this is one of the better songs on the album. Great way to open this album with that opening punch where John's like, "Get on me long," and the epic little call and response there. I think this is some of John's best vocals on this
Mm-hmm.
album,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's as good as the previous album opener. I saw her standing there, but it's still a good way to open this album. And that leads into our next song. We got another John Lennon led song, and this one is called All I've Got to Do. And this is one of the songs that he said he was trying to go for a Smokey Robinson vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that with about three of the songs on this album, this one being one of them.
This is another song that I really like on this album. What's interesting is it's in the exact same key as the first song and has kind of a similar feel, but for those two songs, I think it kind of works. I like, once again, the R&B influence. We're talking about Smokey Robinson. I can kind of hear that in there. And I like George's guitar, that boom, bam, bam, whenever I boom. And it plays really well with Ringo's drum. The drum goes, poof, and then the guitar goes, jump. So it's like, poof, jump, jump, jump. I like that feel. But once again, not top tier Beatles, but as far as this album goes, one of the better songs.
I actually disagree. I think this is one of their better songs from, well, I wouldn't say in general, but in terms of early Beatles.
In terms of this album.
Well, for me, in terms of their first four albums, this is one of their better songs.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong song. I love the harmonies on it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's Holly's level good, but I would say it's up there in terms of harmonies. I love the Smokey Robinson feel of this song. Definitely one of my favorites off this album.
I do love the "You Just Gotta Call on Me" section. And the
Yeah, that's a
whoa.
part.
Yeah, John really shows his vocals again on this song with that part. Just gotta call on me. I like when John or Paul too. John, when they just kind of just go all out on a song and just
Yeah.
really they feel like they're really pushing it and pulling all their vocals into it. And it's like, man, they're both just great singers. And it's a little bit slower song, but yeah, I guess because of Smokey Robinson. I'm glad you mentioned that because yeah, they really liked Smokey Robinson, and there's a lot of songs that were inspired by. Plus, they also covered Smokey Robinson, but yeah, it's really cool that they really were inspired by Smokey, and yeah, I think what Nick said, the harmonies are really great on here. I think that's what makes the song is all I've got to do. Like, oh, so good when they hit those notes, and the drumming. There's something about that drumming. It's not like fast-paced drumming, but it's cool when it hits that cymbal or whatever. I don't know what you call it. It's not a cymbal, but it's when it hits the two cymbals hit each other. You know what I'm talking
Oh yeah.
about? Yeah, like you said, the drumming. I don't know. It's like slow paced, but it's like really cool sounding. And I noticed the drumming. I was like, oh, I really like that drumming in it. Like, it's really cool when you slow it down. And yeah, I agree. It's one of the top songs on here.
To be honest, when I first heard this song, I didn't get much out of it. I thought the guitar and the drum at the beginning, when I first heard it, I thought it was a little bit off sync, which is weird when I first heard it. So I'm like, okay, that's a little odd. So I kind of dismissed it. But when I listened to it again, I'm like, you know what? This is actually a pretty good song. Again, John Lennon sings great on this song. You can feel the Smokey Robinson influence. I think he does it a little better on this song than another track on this album, which I didn't care for at all. We'll get to it later on in the stream. But this one I thought was pretty solid. I think Even though it's a slower track, I think it still has a good groove to it. I like the harmonies on it, like you guys have already mentioned. And it's not one of my personal favorites on the album, but it's still
Okay.
pretty solid. That leads to the next song on the album. This is the first one led by Paul McCartney. This is a song I've actually heard before. This
Okay.
was released as a single in Canada and was a #1 hit over there. It's a song called All My Lovin'.
Well, you are half correct. Half of that is Paul McCartney. It's Paul and John singing at the same time.
Ah, but
At
Paul
least on
McCartney,
the
Paul's the
Definitely
one you
hear
hear
Paul
the
McCartney.
most.
Yeah.
Paul's the one you hear the most on the song.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
yeah.
too. That's
But
interesting.
man, what a great song. I love the vocals on this song, and I think my favorite part of this song is actually John's rhythm guitar playing, because it's got a triplet feel to it. Close your eyes. And then whenever it gets to the all my loving part, it goes bap bap
Yeah.
bap bap. So it's got a triplet feel, and then it's got syncopation. So I think that's really interesting and very catchy, very just like hooks you in, and you definitely remember it after you hear it.
I think that's a pretty good song. Um, I wouldn't consider it to be one of my favorite songs from them. In the context of this album, it's one of the best songs on the album. I don't really go back to the song that often. Uh, I do like the vocals by Paul McCartney. It's definitely one of McCartney's best songs from the early period. Um, it's pretty good. I like it.
Oh, I forgot to mention George Harrison's guitar solo was really great. Some kind of interesting note choices that he does.
Yeah. I agree. It's one of my favorite songs on this album. It's to me one of the top. Yeah. Of course, because we're getting to the originals here, and then we'll eventually get into the cover song. So this first part is very strong, I think, on the album. This first like 3 songs are really, really strong. The strongest part of the album, in my opinion. And yeah, it's one of their best songs, early songs, I think. And I want to say the same thing Scott said. I love the John Lennon strumming. It's so unique on this song, and I've heard them talk about like how tiring that had to be to do that, all that strumming that fast throughout the song. Like that would have been like I've never tried that, but I was like, oh man, that's a lot of strumming. But it's really great and unique. I don't know if that's because of John Lennon's. He had a lot of banjo influence, and I think that caused him to play a little bit differently. I've heard. So I always think about that. But I love Paul's vocals are great. I love at the very end he really kind of goes all out. Like I said, I love when all my lovin', ooh, all my lovin'. Like he really kind of gets louder and crescendos at the end. It makes it even better when he does that. And I just love the I don't know. I kind of like the rhyming scheme of I think it's like something I'll kiss you tomorrow, I'll miss you, and I think there's like I'll be kissing the lips I'll be missing. Like, I don't know. I love the rhyme scheme of kissing and missing. I think it's done very well in the song.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites on the album as well. Paul McCartney has some great vocals on this song. I love the melody in this song. It definitely stands out along with John Lennon's drumming, and even the Ringo's drumming on this song is really good too. I like how he goes, "Oh my love it."
Yeah.
It shows how good of a drummer Ringo is, and how he's good at keeping in time with the other musicians. Uh, I don't think any song on this album I would say is top tier Beatles, but of all the songs on this album, I think All My Lovin' is the closest to being top tier Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to give it that at least. All right, we're on song number 4 on side 1. This is the first George Harrison track on the album. This is a song called Don't Bother Me. This was the first song George Harrison ever wrote, and my personal opinion, yeah, I think it shows.
Yeah. So if you take a look at the first song George Harrison released with the Beatles, this song, and the last song he released with the Beatles, I Me Mine, there is a huge difference.
Uh,
Which
yeah, yeah.
is good whenever you get to I Me Mine and you get to see, wow, George has come such a long way as a songwriter. But when you first start out with this song, yeah. It's a song. It's a Beatles song, a George Harrison song, and it's in my opinion not really that great.
I think this is the first bad song on the album. I think this song's garbage. Uh, his nasally voice really shows on this song. I mean, it's not as bad as the previous album. It gets better with each release, and the with help, I think it gets at its best with his voice, and then it gets better from there. But like, yeah, this song is garbage. I can't stand it. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is awful.
Okay, I'm in agreement with you guys. I was afraid I was going to be the only one that was going to be negative on this song, but because I've heard some people be like, "Oh, this is a great George song," and I was like,
No.
"It's kind of a weak George song to me." Yeah, this is him because at this time, Lennon and McCartney have been writing for a while together. Lennon and McCartney would sit in a room together and just write, and that's how they wrote all these songs. I mean, and they would help each other out, and they kind of learned to write with each other. They kind of helped each other become better writers. And at this point, they're just, as we'll talk about with some of the singles coming out this time, I mean, they were coming out with just number one hits after number one hits. George, so he was a little bit late on the, kind of songwriting, and he didn't have a writing partner necessarily to write with. And I don't know if George, I think there's a question of, can George write a song? And so this was it's like, let me try it and see if I can if I can write a half decent song, I guess. And so this proved at least that he can write a song that made it on the album. So I think it gave him at least a um, uh, little encouragement to keep writing, which I think is great because he doesn't get a song onto the next two albums, but then you get the Help, and I think the songwriting is really good after Help. Help, Revolver, Rubber Soul. I think George's songs are really good. So his songs get so much better at that point. It just takes you a little time though to get better at writing. You have to write some songs, and then you finally get a good one. So, but I agree. This is, I don't know. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's like terrible, but it's just not great. It's just a very low end song for this.
The
For this
story goes that George was sick one day and had
yeah,
to spend a lot of time in bed, and he didn't
yeah.
want anybody to bother him, and so there we go. With all the time on his hands, he wrote this song.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like I'm in agreement with you guys again. I don't think the song is garbage, like Nick says, but it's definitely one of the weaker songs on the album. You could tell this was a first draft song. It definitely lacked what made George Harrison such a great writer when he was in his prime. Like the fact that he did this song and then, years later, on Abbey Road, he wrote one of the best Beatles ballads with Something. You
Yeah,
can see a clear difference in the
yeah,
improvement that he's had over time. But yeah, it's not really the case with this song. It doesn't really stand out. Vocally, it's not the best. I think it also feels like he's trying to copy the style of Lennon and McCartney on this
mm,
song, and it feels like a discount version of that.
Mm.
And I'd rather, when George Harrison writes great songs, it comes from the heart, and I don't feel that with this song, and so this song didn't really do much for me. So we got another comment from Breyer. He says, "This is not one of my favorite albums by the Beatles, but there are some nice songs. My favorite on the album is It Won't Be Long."
So it
Okay,
just goes downhill from the beginning.
according to Breyer. That leads to our next song, and it's a song called Little Child. This is on Lennon and McCartney. They both kind of trade vocals on this one, but John is the primary leader on this one. And it looks like at a minute 46, this is the shortest song on the album.
it's pretty short.
Oh boy, this song. So, of all the originals on this album, this is my least favorite one. I feel this song. Okay, preface. This album and Beatles for Sale, you are going to hear me slam my favorite band. And it's because they actually did make some not so good music, and this is one of them. In preface. That being said, John Lennon, who's normally really good at harmonica, plays the most annoying harmonica thing at the beginning. And then they get into the song, and it's just like, this is such a boring song. It's not very good, and I don't really like the come on, come on, come on. It's just like it's not a very good written melody. It's just it's there, and I wish it wasn't.
This is another song that I think is garbage. This song is even worse than "Don't Bother Me," if you can believe that.
Yes. Oh, and I hate the I'm so sad and lonely. I hate that part.
You know,
It surprises me that I don't know if this was written by John Lennon or Paul McCartney, like mainly, but
right?
this sounds like a cheesy McCartney song. It sounds like something that McCartney would write, and I mean that in a bad way because this song's garbage. Everything about it's garbage, and the funny thing is that the most unique thing in the song is the harmonica part in the beginning, and I think that part is bad too. So, it's like the best part of the song is like garbage, and then it just gets even worse from there. Yeah, the song is garbage. I really don't like this song.
Yeah, it's another weak one by them by their standards. It's definitely not one of their good ones. It's not a memorable one either. I forget this song even exists until I listen to the album and I go, oh, this song, like I forgot this song is here. It's not one. Yeah, I think any Beatles fan, I may be wrong there, is one that anybody would say this is one they'll listen to a lot, on the album. And I'm not gonna say it's like terrible. It's just not compared to what the Beatles can do. It's just kind of below par, I would say. Like you said, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have to semi disagree here. I didn't mind this song.
Okay.
I thought it did its job under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Had a catchy chorus. I like the harmonica part. I didn't mind this song. I think it gets crapped on a little too much. I will agree it's not it's not as memorable. It's definitely not top tier, but it's better than some of the other songs on this album.
The live chat.
Which ones?
So Briar says the song sounds like it was written by a little child.
Yes.
Right, you're so right on that. Nail on the head.
Don't want you to dance with me.
I'm like, so this is my you shook me moment.
I guess, yeah.
It's like it's not. I didn't think it was that horrible.
It's bad, but I can't think of any songs on this album that this is better than. Oh wait, maybe like one or two. But
No, I just think this song.
I think there's worse songs on this album, personally.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad songs on this album. Don't get me wrong.
But our next song is this is I think the first cover on the album, and there's I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3. There's 6 covers on this album.
Yeah,
and this is the first one. It's a song from a movie I really love called The Music Man.
Mm-hmm.
The song is called "Till There Was You." In the movie, it was sung by Shirley Jones, who does a great job on that song. And on this album, it's sung by Paul McCartney. And I thought this was a really interesting cover.
So I actually really like this cover. It's one of the better covers in my opinion, and I really like George's guitar playing on this song. The classical guitar playing. I actually think that this is better than the version used in The Music Man, but I feel like it really fits Paul McCartney's style really well.
I think there's another song that's garbage.
I was gonna say.
I just can't stand. It's like this last album. It was "Taste of Honey" and "P.S. I Love You," where it's like McCartney being like the uppity, big choosy guy. Like it has that like McCartney like thing where he tries to charm you, and this is another one where it falls on its face. It's garbage. I think the song's awful. I'm like, This is one of the worst covers I've ever heard by the Beatles. Like,
Wow.
how can you go from making amazing covers like Anna Go to Him and Twist and Shout to this garbage? You know, it baffles me.
I really like this cover. I think it's one of their best covers, but I kind of get where Nick's saying. I think there's a lot of hate towards this. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say they don't like this cover, so I think it's a mixed song for a lot of people. It's so different. It doesn't seem like it belongs with the Beatles because it's a song from a musical. It's like the sappy love song from a musical. So you're like, why would the Beatles play this? But I think it works perfectly for Paul's vocals. I think are really good here, and I even like again they didn't write it, but I like there were bells in there. I never heard them ringing. It's cheesy, but I like it.
I can't stand when McCartney tries to be the good boy next door.
Yeah,
It drives me crazy.
I know you don't like that.
It pisses me off a lot of times.
Sure, I get that. I like it though, and I agree. I think maybe the best part is George's guitar playing. That little solo thing is so fun. Like I love watching it do. I love watching him do it live. I think it's so fun to watch because I'm always like, man, that's a cool little solo thing in there. But I think it's a nice song. It's more of a ballad type.
Before you guys think I hate McCartney and the Beatles, don't. There's actually a song on this album that I really like that McCartney sang and wrote. So
okay,
there's actually some amazing McCartney tracks on Revolver and Rubber Soul that I really like. So I'm not saying McCartney's a bad Beatle by any means. It's just I don't like it when he tries to be the good boy next door. It's just
you don't like these type of songs.
The granny songs.
It always comes off from me in a wrong way, and it always drives you crazy for some reason.
All right. I'll tell you, the funny thing is that when the Beatles covered this song, Paul McCartney did not know that this was from a musical, The Music Man. I think another artist covered it. I think I read it was Brenda Lee, maybe. And so they heard that version. Like, okay, we're going to cover this song. And then it wasn't until after they recorded, I'm like, oh, this is in a musical called The Music Man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
With that said, this is one of my favorite songs on the album. I think this is one of the better songs in The Music Man. I think this song suits Paul McCartney's vocals really well. I think the arrangement is really cool. I think it fits the style of early Beatles. The guitar playing, it's simplistic, but it's very good. I like how laid back it is. And I think some of Paul's best vocals are on this album, and especially on this song. And even though this isn't like an amazing Beatles album, this is one of the standout songs for me. And our last song on side one is our second cover, and it's Please Mr. Postman. Let's see who originally sung the song. I know it was like a Motown group.
Yeah. The Marvelettes.
The Marvelettes.
The only reason I know that is because of the horrible Captain Marvel movie. Because of Nick Fury.
Oh, was it on there?
It was in
Nick Fury starts singing it, and he's like, that's the Marvelettes because you're Captain Marvel.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I don't.
It's a terrible movie, but that's the only line I can remember from that movie.
But yeah, that's the Marvelettes.
Nick Fury was singing that.
The Beatles obviously covered it, and then it was later a big hit in the '70s by the Carpenters. What's everybody's thoughts on the Beatles version?
I like it. It's really good. I like the cool beginning where it's like, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. I think it's another one of the better covers on this album.
Well, we finally got away from garbage material for a little bit. I think the song's amazing. I think John Lennon captures the soul of it really well. If you ask me, one of many reasons why I think John Lennon's the best Beatle in this era of the group. Love his singing on it. Definitely the best song on side one for sure. Easily, the harmonies on it. Like I said, I don't think it's Holly's level great yet. I don't think they get great with the harmonies until like towards the middle of their career with like Rubber Soul and Revolver, but they're pretty good. But yeah, this is a really good song to end off the first side of the album.
Yeah, this is a great song. One of my favorite on the album. It's probably my second favorite cover behind Twist and Shout. It's my favorite Beatles cover song, and then this is probably number two. That's so fun and catchy. And yeah, I think John's vocals are just absolutely fantastic here. I love the Yeah, the wait, Mr. Postman. Oh yeah, he does this like, ooh yeah, like, oh, it sounds so good when John does it, and then get something a letter, something da da da, like, oh, it's like so good when he just sings by himself and kind of goes out on it. But the backing vocals are fantastic, and I mean, a lot of this is probably thanks to the original, the original recording. I think I think I like this version even better than the Marvelettes, to be honest.
I actually agree because
Okay,
I like the Marvelettes, but I think John's solo on this is actually top notch.
I agree. Yeah, I think John's vocals just really put it over the top, and it's just a fantastic, fun song.
Yeah, there's another song on the second side where he does soul music, and I don't think it's as good. I'll go more into that. I don't want to say my thoughts on it yet, but I think he does the soul best on this song.
Yeah, I enjoy this one as well. I don't think, as far as John Lennon doing a cover, I don't think it's near as good as Twist and Shout.
Yeah,
I do think it's an enjoyable cover in its own right. I think the harmonies work. John Lennon sings good. I think they were able to play around with kind of like the cheesiness of the song really well. Actually, no, my favorite version of this song, I actually like the Carpenters version the best. I think
okay.
how it was played with Karen and Richard Carpenter. I like how they did it mixed with that sleek 70s production. This is still a good version though. I don't think it made my top 5 on this album, but it's still a pretty good cover. And that's the end of side 1. If you have records, you flip the record now, and we're on side 2. And we're on our 3rd cover in a row. We're covering Chuck Berry again. This time it's one of Chuck Berry's biggest hits that they covered, and that is Roll Over Beethoven. And they make the misfortune of having George Harrison sing this one.
So George Harrison can play Chuck Berry's guitar licks just fine, but this just doesn't really suit George's style, honestly speaking. And if you're going to talk about versions of Roll Over Beethoven, this is one of the worst versions of it. Listen to the Chuck Berry's or listen to the epic 8-minute ELO version where they mix in Beethoven's Fifth Symphony with Roll Over Beethoven. That's epic. But then you listen to this one, it's like, no.
I think this is another song that's really awful. It's another garbage song.
Waiting for the garbage. That's like your catchphrase.
Yeah, that's the catchphrase in this review. Garbage. Garbage.
I think this song's very bluesy. No,
And long.
That's
I
fine.
think this song's bluesy and long. That's Jason's catchphrase. Yeah, I think this song's awful. I think this is very uninspired. I think the Rolling Stones do Chuck Berry covers way better. Even their weakest Chuck Berry cover, which is Route 66, I think that song's way better than this song. I think they should have just left the Rolling Stones covering Chuck Berry. I think the Beatles should have just stayed far away from it. Actually, there's one all right cover from Beatles for Sale, but as for this album, I think the song's just garbage. I don't really like it.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of this one, and I don't know. The guitar is really good though. Like I listen to it, I go, man, the guitar is actually pretty darn good and everything. But I don't know, just overall song, I've just never been a fan vocally and everything. And I feel like I don't know. And I'll say this again, maybe on another song, but sometimes they cover a song, and I just feel like, why cover a 50s song when you can come up with your own great 60s song? Like it just doesn't sound like the Beatles when they try to cover 50s tunes, and I'm like, it just feels like you're trying to cover a 50s tune and you're not the Beatles. And it's like, I want to hear the Beatles. I don't hear them through this song quite well.
His nasally voice just ruins it.
And this is a song I feel like George plays all the time. Like I feel like anytime you see concert footage, and it's like, all right, because it's like, Paul and because Paul and John are the main singers, they're going to be singing some songs, and then they're going to take a break and be like, all right, it's time for George or Ringo to sing a song, give us a break, And so I feel like this is always like George's go-to song. Anytime I see in concert. It's like, all right, George's turn. All right, and then we're gonna do Beethoven. Like when I see a Beatles tribute band like this, they always give George this song. You know, the person who's playing George in the band. It's always like, all right, it's George's turn. All right, now we're gonna do Beethoven. I'm always like, it's always that song. It's kind of like with Ringo. He always sings boys. I'm like, why do I always have to hear boys and Beethoven every time I go to a concert? Like,
both their garbage covers.
yeah, it's like I don't need those songs. I don't care if you want to give them a chance to sing. Just give another song to sing.
Let Ringo sing Act Naturally, please.
Yeah, just sing Act Naturally. We don't need boys. I don't know.
Sing Taxman. Get to George Harrison's best
Yeah,
over.
they never sing Taxman. Yeah. Anyways.
That's not period correct.
Taxman is my opinion. In my opinion, not only is it my favorite Beatles song, but Taxman is one of my all-time favorite songs. It's at least in my top 10.
When I go to Beatles tribute band, they hardly play anything from Rubber Soul Revolver. They like skip right to Abbey Road.
Why?
Like I'm like, man,
Two of their best albums.
Good. Yeah, they always do the early stuff, and then I feel like they always skip up to the late, and I'm like, Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to me, the biggest shame about this cover is it was this close to being a good cover. Like the guitar riff is good.
This close.
I really enjoy the production of this song, and they're really trying to capture the spirit of what made the Chuck Berry original so good. But they picked the wrong singer to sing this song. George Harrison's vocals do not mix with this song at all.
As
Because
the Rolling
of that, it
Stones
knocked
would
it
say
down
on their next album, the singer, not the song.
It knocked it down so much on my ranking because George Harris, like I think was it Nick? I think it was one of the songs on Please Please Me. You were like the writing of the song is good, but George Harrison's vocals killed it. I think it was Do You Want to Know a Secret?
Do You Want to Know a Secret? That's it.
See, that's me with this song. Like if you had John Lennon sing this song, it would have been epic. But George Harrison singing it, nah, it doesn't work. Our next song, we got our next original, and it's a song called Hold Me Tight. This is another Paul McCartney track.
Okay, so of the short songs, I actually kind of like this one. It's got kind of a pounding sound. It feels like a song that would be a big like crowd pleaser if they did it live. It's very much a time capsule of when it was made in the 60s, but
yeah.
I'm not going to say this is one of my favorite songs on the album, but it's a lot better than what we've had up to this point on the first side. The second side at least, and some of those last songs on the first side.
You know what? I think you guys are gonna be surprised with me when I say this. When I say this is one of my favorites off this album.
Oh wow!
I love the early Beatle energy into it. I love the way Paul sings it. Yeah, this song it's an earworm. Hold me tight tonight. It's you. Oh no! It's such a. This is one of my favorites on the album. I always find it to be very underrated. Which I have a feeling one of you guys thought I was going to think this song's also bad, but I think this song's really good actually. It's one of this is the song I was referring to as like this is a great Paul McCartney song. Much better than Till There Was You, in my opinion. It's fast, it's upbeat, and great pop song. I really like it. This would have been a great beat. This would have been a great single. I'm surprised it wasn't a single.
Yeah, I think the only singles that are on this actual album, I think, are All My Lovin', Please Mr. Postman, and Roll Over Beethoven.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it kind of gets buried, kind of in the middle of the album. Now you said it. I don't think people talk about the song that much. Like it's not a song I'm going to hear in a concert or people talk about, but it's a solid song on the album. I think. Like I would agree. I do love the you. Yeah, the harmonies are really good.
I love that part.
Yeah, hold me tight. Yeah, some really good stuff there. It's not top tier Beatles, like we said. There's because obviously we're talking about the Beatles, so for me it's like my expectations are really high, or whatever you want to say. My standards are really high, and so like this isn't like high, but it's still solid.
I'm actually with Nick. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. I love the energy it has. I think it reminds me of some of the best songs on Please Please Me. I love the call and response. Hold me
It's
tight.
actually recorded for Please Please Me.
You think it should have been on Please Please
No,
Me?
this is actually an outtake for Please Please Me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No
This
wonder
would've-
it's good.
This would
No
have been a
wonder
much
it's good.
better inclusion instead of a taste of money, or as we all say, a waste of money.
Oh, yeah.
Wasted money.
It's been a good song.
But yeah, this is a really good song. It's in my top 5 on the album.
Yeah.
I think this should have been the kickoff track to side 2. Now that I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
it
it.
would have been a lot better than Roll Over Beethoven.
Yeah, that song's garbage.
All right. We're going to have to trademark garbage for Nick's sake. We're at cover number 4.
Oh boy.
We're actually going Smokey Robinson this time.
Oh.
John Lennon wanted to do some Smokey. Well, he got the cover some Smokey with "You Really Got a Hold on Me."
I think this is awful. This is really awful. There's very little inspiration going into it. Just bland, no soul going into it. It just sounds like them going through the motions. And yeah, I think trademark. I think it's garbage.
Wow.
So, in complete contrast, I actually like this song. I kind of like John Lennon doing Smokey Robinson. Now, I bet you Smokey Robinson's version. I haven't heard Smokey Robinson's version. I know it's a really famous song. I probably should listen to it, but it's probably better than this. But I don't know. I still like this song.
I guess I'm probably in the middle of Scott and Nick, maybe on it. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's not one I go to if I'm ever listening to the Beatles. And as far as cover songs, it's not in my top 10, cover songs. And I don't know, it's something about it's just a little too slow at times for me. And it feels like, I don't know how to say this, but it's like when I listen to this song and I listen to like Roll Over Beethoven, it feels like the Beatles trying to be somebody else, while Twist and Shout and Please Mr. Postman feel like Beatles songs. It feels like the Beatles could have written that song and did all that stuff. I don't know, the songs don't feel like Beatles songs to me. It's like just them trying to be somebody else. And so it doesn't work as well with me, but it's not a bad song, but it's definitely not one of my favorites.
All right. So my thoughts on this debate here, I'm with Scott. I think this is a good cover. I think John Lennon and George Harrison complement each other vocally, especially on the call and response. You really got a hold on me. Really got a hold on me. With that said, I think Smokey's is way better. Nick showed me the Temptations version last night, and that version is really amazing. The harmonies on the Temptation version is top notch. So I think this feels weak in comparison, but I do think it's a solid cover. There's a little bit of bluesy influence in their version that I like, and George Martin does a really good piano solo on this track that I really like, that makes this version stand out from the other versions of the song. This is kind of fascinating because over on Nick's channel, we covered this song in our last video because the Rolling Stones recorded this song as well. The Beatles actually gave it to the Rolling Stones first. The Stones recorded it, but then the Beatles decided to record it on the second album. The funny thing is, even though Lennon and McCartney wrote it, they gave it for Ringo Starr, of all people, to sing, and that is "I Want to Be Your Man."
No. So, if you watched our Rolling Stones Now review, you'll find that none of us were really a big fan of that song in the first place, but in my opinion, the Beatles version is even worse. Ringo really gets the short end of the stick on these first few albums, and it's not until Help that he really gets a chance to get a good song. And I'll even defend What Goes On. I actually like that one too. And Don't Pass Me By. I actually quite like a lot of the songs Ringo sings, but not on these first few albums.
No. And he even has a song called like Matchbox. That's the B-side. That's not very good.
Oh yeah, it's from an EP, and I think that song's awful.
Yeah,
it is bad.
He has a bad one on Beatles for Sale.
He has a terrible one on Beatles for Sale. Honey, Don't. That is his worst song.
Thank God he didn't have a song on A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, he had no song on Hard Days.
But when you get to Help and he does Act Naturally, he actually starts getting some good songs.
Yes. So much.
Okay, look, I will defend Yellow Submarine
Yeah.
and What Goes On and Don't Pass Me By. I like all those songs, but not this. Not Boys. Not Honey Don't. Which, Jacob, I'm sorry that you haven't heard that yet. I'm sorry for what's up ahead.
All right.
Okay, my opinion on this track. I think it's awful.
It's a masterpiece.
It's garbage.
It's
The
garbage.
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 It's
You need a
garbage.
garbage sound effect.
I think this version's just really bad. I think the Stones version was bad, but this managed to top its awfulness. It's generic, very uninspired. It's definitely like "Please Please Me" doesn't sound like an album that was like done in a quick matter of time. This album felt like it was constructed in a day. This sounds like an album that they recorded in one day. I'm surprised it wasn't, because there's so much of these songs that I really just don't like. It's just like some of the like for this first side, it's like 3 songs in a row. That's awful. This album, this second side, we'll find out. So far, it's 2 pad songs in a row. So expect a really low score from me.
Yeah. Please Please Me, Boys was my least favorite song on that album. With the Beatles, I Want to Be Your Man's my least favorite song on this album.
Okay.
Ringo gets 2 in a row, the worst song on the album. Yeah. Poor Ringo. And I guess, they're not going to give him the A material, because, I mean, you're going to give Paul and John the A material stuff. And so they decided that they're going to give Ringo 1 song for some reason. They're like, hey, we'll give Ringo 1 song, people like that. And he probably has no business having a song, but they give him one. And this would be maybe the only time I'll say this, but I think the Rolling Stones version is better than this version. And I usually think the Beatles are better than the Rolling Stones, but this is one case where
Not with this song.
I'm sorry, but I think 12 by 5 is way better than this album.
You know what, Nick?
I
was gonna save
gonna
this
say,
until
Nick, I will say, even though I'm more of a Beatles fan, I think 12 by 5 is a better album.
I was gonna save it until we did the score, so this is a little sneak peek of my score. But I was actually gonna say I think 12 by 5 is better than this album, and since I have this album, guess that means I got to get 12 by 5 now, because at least 12 by 5 has Under the Boardwalk. Sorry, Jacob, I like that
didn't
one.
like Under the Boardwalk.
Time Is on My Side, and It's All Over Now. Like,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good Times, Bad Times.
Yeah. 12 by 5 might have some
song, Jason.
12 by 5 might have some forgettable songs on it, but this album has a bunch of songs that are memorable for the wrong reasons.
All right.
Well, Lynn McCartney, I think for them, I think they've said this, like they write a song, they're like, we're not going to give the A material to the Rolling Stones. we're going to give one of our throwaway songs to them. And that's what they did with this one. And
it's so funny, the dynamic between the Beatles and the Stones, because they were friends, but there was also a rivalry going on. Like they even in one of their songs throw a little shade at the Rolling Stones.
Oh wow!
On one of the songs in Let It Be.
Yeah, or I was gonna say maybe Revolver, but yeah, Let It Be. Okay.
Oh yeah, on Revolver. Yeah, Andrew Bird can sing, and
yeah,
I dig a Pony. John Lennon. Like one of the lines is, "I roll a stony." Well, you can imitate anyone you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that'll be fun to dive into.
Yeah, I think it's funny because Ringo, they give him just these throwaway songs, and it doesn't work very well. Unfortunately, I think until we get to Revolver, they're actually writing songs for George. Paul, Ringo, whatever his name is. They wrote Yellow Submarine, I think, for Ringo, and it worked so well. I think they wrote what's it called? The song off of Sgt. Pepper's,
A Little Help from My Friends.
A Little Help from My Friends. I think they wrote that for Ringo, and those worked so well when they're writing it for Ringo. But at this point, they're just throwing it away, and Ringo's just, nothing against Ringo. He's just not the strongest singer on the band. He's just, He's a drummer. He's not meant to be singing, but he does the best he can.
All right. Well,
Pete does the best
Another-
he can. Ringo does the star he can.
another unpopular opinion. I actually don't
Like it?
mind this song. I think this is a more memorable version than the Stones. In fact, I even did a poll asking, okay, what do you think's the better version of this song? And guess what? The Beatles version won the poll. So I think there's people that do prefer the
I
Beatles over the Stones.
I voted for the Stones.
I vote for
bad.
You go for the Stones, okay. So I guess I'm like the odd man out of the group that prefers the Beatles version. I think
Okay.
it's a little more memorable. Ringo's vocals aren't the best, but he does the best with what he's given, and I think it's a catchy enough song. It's not one of my favorites on the album though, but I think it's more memorable than the Stones version. That leads into our next song. This is another cover song. I've actually not heard the original song. I think it was recorded by a group called the Donnays. I've never heard of that group. But the song is called Devil in Her Heart. And this is the third and final song led by George Harrison. And I would say of the
What?
three
Really?
songs, this is
I
the
didn't
best
know.
of the three.
I didn't know that was the one. I didn't know that was led by George.
Yeah, it was led by George.
Yeah.
It's a George-led song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is garbage.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's annoying. It's just like she's got the devil in her heart. I don't like that. Like it's just an annoying line. Like the way they sing it is annoying, and like what is this? It's like, no, she's not the devil in her. No, I think she's an angel. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of stupid. Like, you say she's a bad girl, but I think she's an angel. I don't know. And that's not really picking on Lennon and McCartney because they didn't write this song, but like, I don't know. What we already had that with "Baby It's You," where it's like, you should hear what they say about you, cheat, cheat. It's like, oh, she's not a bad girl. I like her, and I think that's a much better song. This
Yeah.
this song is, I don't really like it very much.
I'm gonna agree with Scott. This is another bad song on the album. It's like the first side had 3 songs in a row that's bad, and then this album has 3 songs in a row that's bad. It's like so far it's like 7 of the 14 songs I think are awful. It's just like very little creativeness going into it. It for a band that people say is way better than other bands, like people were like, oh, it's the Beatles and no one else. They're way better than the Who, blah blah blah. And then I listen to this garbage. I'm like, yeah, I don't see it.
I don't think they're talking about this album.
Well, you have to think about the singles, I guess, they put out this time period as well.
Yeah, if we replaced some of these awful covers with some singles, this would be a great album.
Devil in Your Heart, I really like this song. I thought it was a really good
Really.
and I don't even know the original. I don't know. This is one where I'm disagreeing with you two on this. I thought it was actually a really fun song, and I love she's got the devil in her heart. I don't know. I thought it was a really cool melody, and yeah, no, you can't. I can't believe. Bum, 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 bum. Like, I don't know. I like the melody, and it's just kind of a hidden gem to me. It's like the song that no one's gonna talk about, but I kind of like it. I can't say it's like the top of it's more towards the top half for me, I guess, on the album. But
Oh, for
Agreed.
me, it's like
I would say it's better than Rolling Beethoven. It's better than
I Want to Be Your Man and
I Want to Be Your Man.
Little Child.
Don't bother. It's better than Don't Bother Me. I think it's better than some of those that we talked about. Yeah.
All right. Well, Icebreaker, I'm with Jason. I like this song.
I guess this could be our most effective, I guess.
We're
It's got- It's got a good melody. The harmony
it's
on
two
this song
notes.
is great.
It's 2 notes. Da 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 da. It's 2 notes.
It's catchy though.
Okay.
I like catchy melodies. All right, and this has a good melody. And of the 3 Harrison-led songs, this is the only one that suited him. And I thought the writing was a little clever. again, it's not top 5 material, but it's one of the more
Right.
memorable songs on the album.
No, it's one that you're never going to talk about, but it's one I get to and I go, this is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Second to last track from not Meet the Beatles. That's the U.S. album.
Which
We're
is
doing UK.
a million times better than this album because it's got a one
Uh,
Hold Your Hand.
Next is Not a Second Time. This is another John Lennon led song. Another one of his attempts to be like Smokey Robinson.
Okay, so we finally, and I don't care if anybody else hates this song, but we finally get to a song that I actually really like. I actually really like this song. It's a very clever song. John Lennon does some very interesting things on this song musically, even though apparently he didn't know what he was doing. He was just imitating Smokey. Because I read a story that some musicians that like analyzed the song and like interviewed John and said that was very creative how you did this. And John Lennon just said, "Oh, I don't know, I did that. I was just imitating Smokey."
Yeah. He
But
loves
I actually think this is a really good song and should have been the closer, which it was on Meet the Beatles.
I'm gonna have to agree with Scott on this one. I think this is easily the best song on the album. It's
okay.
catchy. It's has all the great qualities of a John Lennon written song. It's amazing. It amazes me how they could go from like 3 songs that I think is just awful to like a song that actually is really good. So I actually really like the song.
I think it's kind of like Hold Me Tight. It's one of those Beatles songs you probably don't think about or talk about very much. It's never played on the radio, but it's a solid song on this album. Again, not top tier, but yet very solid. The Not a Second Time. Yeah, I think it's John did a job here. Has a decent enough melody and all that. It's one I get to. I don't mind getting to it. I go, oh yeah, this is nice. Like, unlike some other songs, I might be like, I'm skipping this one. But this one's like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, so this is unpopular opinion time. I didn't care for this one. I just thought it was boring more so than anything else.
Yeah.
It reminded me too much of All I've Got to Do, but I feel like this is like the worst version of it, and to me it just didn't stand out compared to the other John Lennon track. And it's not the worst song on the album. I think the worst songs on this album are so bad they're more memorable. This one's more so it's just boring than anything else.
Yeah, okay.
And then that leads us to our last track, the album closer, and it's another cover. Money That's What I Want. The original artist is Barrett Strong, and this was a Motown single. If I'm not mistaken, this was like the first big Motown hit. So this is the song that made Motown big.
Yeah.
And the Beatles decided to cover it for whatever reason.
So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sensing a theme in these songs. It's a lot of R&B and Motown stuff on this album.
Yeah.
And that's not really the Beatles. I'll just go ahead and say it. Motown isn't really the Beatles. They can do a few songs like that, but this whole album is pretty much a Motown album. And that's not really the Beatles style.
I agree.
That's a good point.
I never really put 2 and 2 together,
Yeah,
but you're right on that.
I didn't until just now. Now I'm seeing it. Their first album is a pretty solid rock and roll album, and this is a Motown album, and that's not really the Beatles style.
Yeah.
I consider that to be more of a pop album. Please me, but yeah, I agree. This is a more R&B album.
Interesting.
Garbage.
Yeah, it's the worst song on the album.
Oh, okay.
It's really bad. It's their attempt at trying to do Twist and Shout again, and it just falls short, extremely short. Like this is like up here is Twist and Shout, and then way down there is Money That's All I Want. That's my opinion.
I think you make a good point because I think the reason they put the song last is because of Twist and Shout. I think Twist and Shout was such a huge hit off of that first album that they're like, we need another Twist and Shout moment. And so they wanted to, really good. I mean, because this is the most rockiest song on the album. Wouldn't you agree? This is like the big rock song.
Yeah.
I would say
I mean,
so.
it's the heaviest rock song, I guess you'd say, on the album. So I think they're going for that twist and shout effect, of John just really belting it out, like he did on Twist and Shout. And so he definitely belts it out on here. And I think I like John's vocals. I think he really belts it. Uh, for the birds and bees, that's what it's like. Okay, like I like what he's doing here. Yeah, I agree. It's a far inferior song to Twist and Shout, as far as that goes. I don't think it's like the worst song on the album, but yeah, and I get why they closed it with this, and they do kind of similar thing with Help. They're like, let's get a big rocker to close the album out, and it doesn't always work as well.
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it. It's like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but yet, I think it's not terrible. I think John's good. Again, John's a great singer. I do like his vocals on here, and Jacob, you got to have money.
No.
That's a good one, Jason. All right. So I disagreed with Nick a few times on this stream, but on this song, I'm with Nick. This is
Not
the
this
worst
time.
song on this album.
Not a second time.
It sucks as an album closer. Maybe if this was early on in the album, I wouldn't mind it as much. But as your big closer, this is pathetic. And I think what doesn't help is I'm not a real big fan of the song in general. This is one of the weaker Motown songs. Like the original guy, I've heard his version. Like it's okay. It's just not one of my favorite songs in general. But the Beatles doing it, it does not fit them at all. The harmonies are really cringy on this when they're doing that. That's what I want.
Oh, don't remind me.
The only thing I like in this song is the piano. That's it.
I like the drum.
But,
The drum is good.
the piano in this is not bad, but this is like one.
Yeah.
This is like, I think of all the Beatles songs that we've covered on these two albums, this is the worst song that I think I've heard so far.
I think Ian Stewart would have been a much. I think they should have gotten Ian Stewart on the piano on this one.
What's interesting is I've heard an even worse version than this. Apparently, Ringo Starr,
Yeah.
the Cellars
I've heard
covered
that
this,
too.
and it's more recent and it's auto-tuned as heck. And
Yeah.
The Ringo version is 10 times worse.
Imagine that, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. It makes the Beatles version look like a masterpiece in comparison.
Makes it look like yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
boy.
So
I think
Yeah.
there's like 3 or 4 cover songs on Beatles for Sale that's way worse than this one, but I see what you're getting at.
we'll
Oh
get
yeah,
to-
you
No,
want
there's-
to see me crap on a Beatles album? Let's get to Beatles for sale.
So this is good compared to
that album
I
is
think-
garbage.
I say you think I'm harsh on this album? Wait till we get to that album. We're gonna.
All right,
Ooh,
well-
baby, we're getting into some harsh territory.
we're 2 albums away, Nick. We gotta
Thankfully,
get
we get to talk about Hard Day's Night next when I get to say something positive again.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of positives to say about that album.
Yeah. It's interesting because when you come to the next album, their big singles are on the album. That's like one of the few times that it helps the album out. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've finished talking about all the songs. Let's get to our top 5.
My number 5, I'm gonna go with "It Won't Be Long." My number 4, I'll go with "Please, Mr. Postman." Number 3, I'll go with "All I've Got to Do." Yeah, I changed my mind. I think that's the best song on side 1 now. Number 2, I'm gonna say "Not a Second Time," and my favorite song on the album is gonna be "Hold Me Tight."
Number 1, the best song on the album for me, is All My Loving. Number 2 is going to be It Won't Be Long. Number 3, Not a Second Time. Number 4, All I've Got to Do. And number 5, I'm actually going to go with Till There Was You. I'm putting that in my top 5.
Oh, wow.
I actually like that song.
Yeah, I got a lot of similar ones actually that you two put down. Number 5, I have Till There Was You. Number 4, I've All I've Got to Do. Number 3, I got Please, Mr. Postman. I think I like that one the best out of everybody, but well, at least the other 2. Number 2, It Won't Be Long, the very first track, and then number 1, All My Loving.
Number 5. I'm the only one that has this up this high. You Really Got a Hold on Me. Is my
Mhm.
number 5.
Yeah.
That would be my
four-
number 6.
Number 4, Hold Me Tight. Number 3, It Won't Be Long. Number 2, sorry, Nick, Till There Was You. And number 1 is All My Lovin'.
Don't hate me for saying this, Scott, but I'm giving this album a slightly lower score than Mr. Wonderful.
No, it's not that bad. This album doesn't have the same riff 4 times. It's not insulting to my intelligence. It's
But like
just uninteresting.
with Mr. Wonderful, there's 4 bad songs. With this album, there's 8 bad songs.
All right, so what would you rate this album then? I'm curious.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Wow.
Ouch. Well, I don't really like this. I'm gonna be slightly more generous and give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I don't hate it as much as you guys. I think there's still some good stuff here, but because of the high Beatles standards, this is to me kind of maybe the most mediocre album that they made.
That's why I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I know they can do better.
Yeah, because they can do better. Yeah, I had to go down to 7.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 as well.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it's a bad score. To me, 6 is mixed positive. There's stuff I really like on this album, and those save the album from being truly bad. There are some weak spots on this album, and it isn't step down from Please Please Me. And I think to me, the biggest thing that hurts it is the lack of She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, This Boy. If those songs were on the album, it would have been a 7 out of 10. We'll do A Hard Day's Night real soon. It's not for money. We're not after that. It's all for fun.
That's not what I want.
We'll roll over Beethoven. Let's get to A Hard Day's Night.
And don't
All
bother.
right. Don't bother me. That's right.
That's what I say to this album. Don't bother me.
Don't bother.
All right. Good night, everybody. Peace out.
Have a good one.